It's been several months since the last edition of EOS Voice News, and that's because we've been waiting for voice to build up all kinds of new functionality and features. And this is episode number 7, and we're happy to welcome back the CEO of Voice, Mr. Salah Zalatimo. Welcome back to the show, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me back. It's a pleasure to see you again, Joel. You as well, Travis.
Yeah, also you, Travis. Not as much you, but
Joel's
also.
friend. I'm used to be called Joel's friend. That's good.
Wait, who was that called you Joel's friend?
That was Max.
Max Kaiser.
When he was singing his little ukulele thing.
That's funny because I feel like when I go to the playground, I'm known as my son's dad. So, are you seen as dad? Are you seen as dad? I'm like, wow, that's what I've become now.
You are very much that, and more that as he gets older, and then eventually you'll be able to reclaim your own identity.
Yeah, that's true. I guess there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
So a lot's happened since April when we did the last episode, and we want you to bring us up to date, perhaps one feature at a time. And this is the podcast goes out via audio, but for those of you that want to see the video, we'll do some screen sharing. And my Discord is ringing, so I have to say no to that right now. Real time, folks.
You're not going to lend them your voice right now.
Yeah, it's actually my son calling, so I'm telling him. So I won't edit that because this is the internet in real time. But I'm going to share the screen, so those of you that want to see what we're talking about, go to the Bad Crypto YouTube channel, and you'll find this video. And of course, Salah, if you want to share on your side, you can point out some of the new features and functionality as well.
Cool. Well, so thank you for that, Joel. And it is a pleasure to see you again. And a lot has happened since we last spoke. So for a little bit of context, last April, we were just a few weeks into phase 1 of our, what we're referring to as our Voice Genesis community. And that was specifically to let in a select group of people to help kick the tires on our platform, specifically around the KYC component and the underlying blockchain infrastructure. And so we gathered an incredible amount of information and a lot of feedback from our users that was really valuable, that led to some significant changes to the platform. In parallel, we were also trying to hire a full team. So if you may recall, in February, I was the only Voice employee. And today, I'm proud to say our 60th employee started this week. So
nice.
We've built an incredible team of engineers and product developers and marketers and trust and safety specialists and user success specialists. And our legal team is second to none. So our design team has literally emerged in the past few weeks. And is such an impressive crew that we put together. So it has been, and in addition, we've been trying to navigate this whole extended lockdown. I think in April, we had just started some of the lockdown experience in the world and in the US. And I think at that point, actually, I hadn't even really expanded much outside of New York. And here we are in August, sitting in kind of an opposite scenario where New York seems to have really settled down a bit and it's still taking the rest of the country by storm. So on top of all that, trying to hire a team, trying to put out a product, trying to break through the noise of the news cycle has been made significantly more challenging because of this pandemic and the resulting lockdown, and just the kind of global preoccupation with all of the justifiably so, of course, with all the challenges it has created from a social and economic and even political standpoint. So I'm very proud of what we've accomplished in that time, given all of those challenges. And I would say to you that the single biggest thing we learned was that KYC, while critical from a regulation standpoint, if we're going to be transacting with a token that has any value, and also powerful from a community quality standpoint to make sure that we know exactly who is and isn't on the platform. But doing traditional KYC proved to not be a scalable path forward for us as a social media network. And so I think that was the most resounding feedback that we got, that just uploading your driver's license to give a new social media platform a spin was really quite a tall ask. And so we knew immediately that we had to go back to the drawing board on that one and build our own digital identity verification system that is frictionless, that can guarantee humanity, guarantees that we have only humans on the platform, that can help us prevent duplicate and burner accounts, and to help us create from the get-go a really high quality community of real people. And so we were very excited to announce the release of that system, which we've dubbed internally as Human Sign Up. And that released this weekend. So now people can sign up in less than 90 seconds, and we can verify that you're an actual human being. And we're working to also verify that there are no duplicate accounts either.
Oh, that's huge. Because that, I mean, you recall, I think from our last conversation, that was one of the things that was the biggest challenge for me getting online. Is I think I went through like 4 different processes, and I was like, all right, screw it. Because it's like the first time, it's like I think I went through the bad crypto email, and they're like, your name's not bad crypto. And I'm like, oh, okay, but that's my company's name. And then I'm like, okay, so then I got another invite for my Travis Wright email. I signed in on that one, but then it's like, sorry, your phone number and stuff is already being used on this other account. I'm like, ah! And so
and then you had that problem with your fecal sample not matching,
That's
so
true.
that
Then
was
and then I had to draw blood 5 times where they finally could capture my DNA. And then my firstborn, I had to give him up. But
so you have a son named Voice right now?
Yeah. Well, I used to. You guys have him now. But so what does that process look like now? The human sign up process, and it sounds like you guys are out of beta and able to sign up anybody now. Is that true?
So we're still. I mean, you want to call it beta? We call it. We're still in the Genesis mode, which is essentially friends and family of existing users can invite on friends and family. So we don't yet have the full floodgate open where you can just go and sign up quickly, because again, human sign up is a new thing that we just launched, so we want to get some good feedback on and make sure it is nice and mature and a good experience before we really unleash it on the world. And so, again, we launched on Saturday. We already have some really good feedback. We're incorporating some of those changes. We've tested the limits of our deduplication efforts, and it looks pretty strong. We're taking the approach of trust but verify. And we want to build a platform that really reflects our values as people, in that we don't want it to be very onerous and punitive. We want it to be, hey, welcome to the Genesis community. We believe in one human, one voice, and that means creating an account with your likeness and with your actual image, name, and not creating any duplicate or burner accounts. And if you do violate that, we will be checking, and we will reach out to you to try to correct that. And we will not put that as a kind of gate or a wall in front of our registration process until we're really confident that the results will be strong and accurate, because we don't want people to experience what Travis experienced. It was not a good experience for you, and you remember very, very vividly, and it's something that we don't want to repeat.
Well, we had that conversation with you, and I think that was kind of one of the it actually became a very positive thing, because your support team was spot on. They were great, very helpful, and as a result, the situation that I experienced, you guys went in there and fixed it so other people don't experience that. So that's a mark of great leadership. That's a mark of a great listening platform and listening to the users, and and helping make the experience better for everyone. So I tip my hat to you, good sir.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I appreciate that, Travis. You were an early supporter of ours, and we take this stuff really seriously. I mean, your name is still remembered by our team because they knew that we had to get this right. So we do appreciate that very much.
And echoing forth from the halls of voice.com, Travis Wright echoes.
The pain in the ass. Make sure that we fix this.
Well, I'm glad that you guys have made that move. 90 seconds to onboard now. So now that I know that's there, I'll have to refer the listeners here to the show. Is there a special referral link that you get rewarded for inviting somebody, or is it just invite people, come on board?
It is So right now, when you invite somebody through our system, we send a specific activation code that is specific to the email address that you send. So it is very much meant to be a friend of a friend, or friends and family of existing users. But we will. So now, Travis, you have 10 invites that you can send to your friends and family.
Well, we have a lot of friends. I mean, everybody listening to the show, they're our friends. And is there a way to set up a link that, one size fits all, that anybody comes through our link can sign up?
No, you can only have 10 friends, Joel.
Yeah,
but let me let me see who I can delete.
So Joel, I will. I'm happy to break some news right here for you guys, which is that we will absolutely be enabling the ability for a link to have many people sign up, and including individuals such as yourselves with audiences. But we're pairing that with something that is really, really exciting that we are preparing for and haven't yet made public, which is the introduction of referral rewards for the people that you do invite.
Excellent. That's what we've wanted. And so those of you that want to sign up, I can't send you a link yet, but when I do, I'm going to get rewarded.
Absolutely. And we are right now testing through the exact mechanics of that, but it will be something in the vicinity of 1% of earnings for a future period of time. It's likely to be somewhere in the 1 to 3 year period of time, and something in the.
So you get like a voice override.
Yeah.
So you bring on some people who are kick ass in this thing, and then you get a voiceover. You get a percentage of the voice that they manifest. You're getting a kickback of that. That's huge.
Yeah.
That incentivizes. I think we had a conversation about that. That was one of the things that we had talked about, because that kind of activity is going to drive influencers to onboard other influencers.
And I'm telling you, I know exactly what you should call that too. That reward, while it is voice, you should call them echoes.
Echoes, reverberations.
Damn, that is
right,
great.
because it just keeps coming back to you. So somebody signs up and they voice, and you get echo, back from them.
I love it. That's a good one. That token is called an echo token. I love that. Yeah, we might just use that.
Well, hey, we're available for consulting.
Absolutely. You guys have some great ideas. You've already helped us move the product forward, so that's for sure. But yeah, the referral rewards is something that we're very, very excited about. And we are, I think while we're maturing the different features that we have, like our sign-up process, like the blockchain underneath as well. One of the things that we are taking a bit of a slower burn approach to is the actual tokenomics themselves, the token economy and those incentives. The reason being that you can't get that wrong. So what I mean by that is, once you've established your token economic system and your incentive system, changing it comes at a large cost.
Mm-hmm.
And so we are going to be testing that and doing a variety of tests in order to really make sure that we're getting the intended outcome. Because we've seen this happen before. We've seen other platforms, launch with a certain set of incentives, find out that, and users will definitely find the loopholes in them. And once that's found, sometimes you can't recover. And so that's something that we're very, very aware of, and that we've learned through experience as well, that we're going to make sure we take care of.
I want to ask you about that, tokenomics. And so, we're in the beta phase, Genesis, alpha phase, whatever, I don't know what you're calling it right now. But so people have earned voice tokens. Like I have 6.4 thousand tokens. I remember last time we chatted, you're like, yeah, those are going to, once the site goes live, those are going to be reset. And I realized that disincentivized me to participate much in the beta, because I was like, oh man, all this work's going to go away. And so I noticed I didn't use the platform as much over the last couple of months, just because I know that the voice tokens and the stuff that I'm doing is going to go away. Is that still the case? Or are those going to be rebooted whenever the site usually goes live?
They will be, and in fact, they may be reset more than once before we actually go permanent. However, we are still finalizing our plans, but we will definitely reward our earliest users and our most engaged early users with tokens once they do reset. So it will not be for nothing. And secondly, The referral rewards obviously are a big incentive to get on early and to participate early.
Mm-hmm.
So, because obviously with one human and one account, once somebody creates an account, you won't be able to invite them, and you won't be able to earn any of those those echo rewards.
Can you tell us how many people are actively using the platform now?
So we're still we're still below 10,000 users. We're holding that line until we feel we have one or two more iterations on our human sign up. And so we think, within the next couple of weeks, we should probably open that floodgate a little bit more, and we'll break into the 5 digits and then keep moving up from there. We have 71,000 people on our waiting list right now, and our conversion rate from wait lists to registered accounts is quite high. So we are in the position of really like keeping our hand on the faucet, so that again, we don't want people to have an experience that's anything less than amazing. And so every time we open the faucet a bit and we start letting people on, we learn some things that are really powerful and that can quickly be optimized to give people a better onboarding experience. And so as we continue to mature that, we continue to open the spigot wider and wider.
Very cool. I think that this whole platform is going to make a lot of people happy. It's going to, because we're seeing so much stuff going on with censorship and all this other stuff, and people being deplatformed. I think it's such an important time to have a platform like this. And in fact, our producer Aaron Sell is going to be producing a conference all around decentralized social media called ReSocial. That's going to be happening later on in the year, and I'd love to see Voice have a big role in that, because between Joel's influence and my influence with folks in the social media marketing world, I think we could help onboard and refer a whole lot of those top key influencers onto the platform, and we'd love to find ways to work with you to discuss on how we could help impact that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that would be great. I'd love to talk to you more about that.
Voice should have a voice. So let's talk features. I don't see yet that I can change my profile photo or eliminate my middle name from my profile. When that?
That'll be in the next couple of weeks. Next few weeks. So I would say I need to figure out the exact launch date, but changing your name by the end of September, you'll be able to change your name change your profile picture. And I'll get back to you on the date for changing name, but both are imminent. They're just in queue.
I mean, right now there's my my mug shot. It's like, look at the camera, turn to the left, turn to the right,
cough,
cough, right? And the only one who ever,
Joel,
you do not look pleased.
Dapper to me.
That is the least pleased I've ever seen.
It is
a Joel comment, a photo.
It is not me being pleased. So that's good to know. What about feature changes in terms of the actual functionality of the site?
So the biggest change that you'll see will be coming later this fall when we introduce our new communities feature. So right now our site has a global feed, and we have categories that you can select from. And the future state of the platform will be for where users can create communities within the app, and will therefore be able to. So, yeah, what you're looking at here on the screen actually is our list of categories, content categories, and so we are working on introducing a new angle to this, which is specifically the community aspect, where people can create communities. You can have community publications. You can have interest-based communities. You can have geographically based communities, and it's really a way to help organize the feed and the experience, so that people are joining and able to find the content that they would like to engage with most, so that they're most interested in. So, and that will come with it a updated user interface, which will look quite different than what you see today.
Look at these beautiful pictures this guy's posted.
That's true.
I guess it's World Photography Day today.
Is it?
Apparently, that's the hashtag
Indeed.
that is on here, World Photography Day. This was just posted an hour ago. So
Oh, I love Yosemite. It's hard to take a bad photo in Yosemite.
Right.
So I have a question around a feature around, recommended users to follow, right? So you join a new platform and, how do we find, I guess you can just go ahead and click and pick on your categories and see who has the most engaging content. But is there an area where you're like, hey, these people have some great content? Because like, I don't have any friends on there yet. Joel's my only friend. So I don't have any real world connections to a lot of these people yet. So how do you discover new people to follow and connect with?
So the discovery aspect of the platform are some of the features that you're going to see rolling out over the next few months. So the intention is one of two ways. You discover through communities. So you join a community and you will find, and the community will be interest-based. And so you'll be able to find content that way, and you can follow your communities. And then within those communities, you'll be able to find users as well that you're very interested in. And then if there are specific people you want to find, it would be done through search. So a lot of that infrastructure is being built now, and you'll start seeing it hit the platform over the course of the next few months.
What about being able to, recommend people? If you're posting in the crypto space, then maybe it looks at who the top users are, posters in crypto, and it has a little people you might want to follow type of like Twitter does.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we generally want to rely less on algorithmic suggestions and discovery and more on human-based. So it would be something more along the lines of like, people who follow these people also follow these people. Like a little, just part of the ethos of what we do at Voice is to make it based on human recommendation and less on predictive algorithms. So absolutely we'll have features like that. They'll be a little bit different than what you see today on social, but we certainly want to make the platform as easy as possible to find people and to connect with people and to start building that network.
I see one problem right now. I'm looking at the crypto feed, and I'm looking at this, and I see of the first 5 or 6 posts, I see here's one in French, here's one in looks like Chinese, this is maybe in Korean. Like I don't speak that, and so some people might go there and go, I'm not going to read this because I don't know this language. And a lot of the feeds that are on that top one are in multiple languages. Is there going to be in the future a feed to be able to go English only or Korean only to be able to segment that so it can be in the same category? But it seems spammy to folks. If I'm going to look at a category and it's in all these different languages, that might deter people from being active.
Yeah, absolutely. And so you're right. Localization is definitely on the roadmap as well. Right now, what you're seeing now is a global feed of people who are invited by friends of users on the platform, and that extends to different countries in the world. So we also expanded into 20 plus countries beyond just the U.S. So what you'll see up front is some mixing of content and of languages and of communities, and as we begin to keep introducing the community's infrastructure, so that we can actually begin to people can form their tribes and begin to self segment. We will also introduce similarly the possibility to filter your feed based on the language you speak. So we haven't even yet introduced the possibility to sign up and select a language and then only see content in that language, because we're only really equipped to handle English language at this time. But it's not something that we felt would be a positive experience for people to actually be banned from using certain languages. There are countries that we currently aren't available in yet, and so part of our preparing to bring on certain countries is also the ability to localize the experience for others. So
I do see in the email I got from your team that you are expanding to 20 new countries. Where will some of those be?
So those countries include countries around the world. So off the top of my head, I can tell you there's a decent number of European countries. There are several countries in Asia as well. So UK, Australia, Italy, India, Nigeria, Philippines, Argentina.
What about Kyrgyzstan? Will you be in Kyrgyzstan? I can't wait to see
Kyrgyzstan.
posts in Kyrgyzstanese, whatever that would be.
Kyrgyzstan is not yet on the roadmap,
How
but
about Travis Stan?
The Republic of Travistan.
Yeah. It's a very small
I,
amount of people there, though. You wouldn't understand the language.
I think once we get through all the countries on Earth, we'll start getting to all the countries that we can also create for
Oh, that's
ourselves
good.
as
Bad
well.
Cryptopia, there's one right there. But we speak English right now because, the Queen and all that. I found a much easier way to do this. So if you actually go and clicked on most voiced instead of maybe most active, then the best content in that category over the last week pops up.
Yeah. So right now, it's actually we're actively working on our algorithms there. So most voiced will be right now. It might even be longer than that. It might be the past several weeks. But it is meant to show the top quality content in terms of engagement, and that will, our whole platform is really geared around voicing, and so most voiced is the kind of feed that we want to converge around, and so as you can note, what you're looking at here is a discovery experience that is still in progress, right? So we still need to figure out exactly what the right formula is for balancing voicing it with likes, with comments, and time. And without having a large audience on the platform, it's hard to know really when you've gotten it right. So every time we let in another wave of users into our Genesis community, these are the types of things in the feedback that we're seeking, that we're getting from them. So as I mentioned before, like the approach we're taking, instead of building up to our kind of big reveal, is to open the doors early and let in a few people at a time to get real-time feedback from real users, to make sure that what we're building is really adding value to what people want. And it keeps us out of the echo chamber of us only building the things that we think people want. And it really helps us make sure that we're prioritizing the most important elements of our site. I think going back to your experience before, Travis, you came on early and the first challenge you had was KYC. It didn't even matter what we had done on the platform, right? Like if you can't get in and with a good experience, nothing else we build matters. And if you think about from our standpoint, we spent significantly more time building the actual platform than on the KYC piece. Meanwhile, from a user experience standpoint, the priority was completely the inverse. And so that's the value of getting your product out there in the world early, and that's the value of having real feedback. But you just kind of have to go into it knowing that there's going to be things that are not optimal. You're going to have some things that are known to be, not what you would like them to be eventually, and kind of prepare to sit on your hands a little bit to wait for that to actually catch up, because it's a tough thing to watch, and it's something that we do regularly.
I see your Corona stash has turned into a full beard. Because you had back in April, I think you were just the mustache.
Yep. I missed that mustache. It was a good
You
run.
can reclaim it. All you gotta do is shave all this and
yeah.
mustache.
I gotta get a little more depth on it, and then I'll come back.
I thought for sure Joel was going to say, so I must ask you a question.
Oh.
Thank you for not doing that, Joel.
I would not stoop so low, but Travis would.
He would.
Salah, is there anything else you want to share with us about what's coming next?
Well, as I said, we have a really thick pipeline of features coming out through the rest of the year. I really feel like we are where our momentum is picking up. We would love to get as many of your audience and as many fans of the project and of what we're doing onto the platform and onto the Genesis community early, to help us build this thing, to help us build social as it should be, because we're not going to get it right in a vacuum or in an echo chamber. We're only going to really get this right if we're doing it together and doing it in public. And so ask for your support and for your participation. Would love to see you on the platform.
I see Chris Messina is on the platform. I don't know. Isn't that the guy who created the hashtag originally on Twitter? I think that was him. I don't know if the same guy.
I thought he was with Loggins and Messina. They wrote music. No, different
Not
guy.
sure. Don't know. Good
Well,
stuff.
thanks,
No,
Salah.
I'm actually going through and following everyone Salah is following, because that seems like
Those must be all the important people.
Those must be all the good people. And I'm actually pretty pleased. This is the first platform I've ever been on where I'm actually at Travis.
There you go. And that's the main benefit for signing up early, is get your name.
Yeah. I'm like, I am the Travis. I'm not even the Travis. I'm just at Travis, which people are going to be very impressed by, I can tell.
Absolutely.
I already am.
This is good stuff. I think you've done it so far. The platform's looking great. I think once this thing is ready for prime time and rolling out and getting out there, I think people are going to be pleased about it. It seems like, it's going to be a decentralized, sort of a sexier medium when it's kind of all said and done, it seems like. And so start getting really smart people over here to create really great content, and they can be rewarded. And I guess the question that I had, last question then, is like, how is voice going to be? Is it going to be available on exchanges? Is it the token? So how are people going to be able to take their monetized versions of voice and then exchange that into fiat or other cryptos?
The voice token, we intended to be transferable off the platform, and so independent marketplaces will emerge for it. And that's how users will be able to extract that value. So it's something that we're very committed to doing this on independent third-party exchanges, because we don't want to be in that business, and we don't want to do anything that might undermine our alignment with users. Like we're all in this together.
Yeah.
And so if we're selling you tokens and we're doing that kind of stuff, it undermines the whole purpose of this.
Yeah. So could we go over to another one of these third-party exchanges and buy a shitload of voice tokens and then import them back into the platform? And now I have so much more voice that I could then use to be the top voice on a bunch of posts and be a big whale.
That functionality is our hope. So yes, I hope you can do that soon.
Nice.
Fantastic. Well, Salah, we appreciate the updates, and ask that you guys please subscribify to the show. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button there. If you're watching on Library, even better, follow us there. Or if you're just listening to the audio version, EOS Voice News on iTunes and all the other places. Thank you again, Salah.
Thank you. Thanks, Joel. Thanks, Travis. Have a great day.
Thank you. It was great stuff.